Hello, 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 and welcome back to. And I do apologize, something just popped up. I got to get it out. Okay, all right, now we're ready. Welcome back. This is our 12th day of our 30-day devotional. My name is Donna Harris. I am your renewed mom's coach in life and spiritual healing. I mentor women who are ready to renew their lives excuse me, and their spirit using the three R's, and that is reflection, recommitment, and renewal. Today's topic is going to be divine interruptions. How are you understanding the interruptions that God has brought to you in your life? I know for many of you, sometimes divorce, excuse me, and separation, it can feel like an interruption. It's like a roadblock. um it's like a roadblock to the path where you had planned it to take. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I had a coughing attack before I got on. But it's like a roadblock. It's like you're living the life that you had planned, and then here come this roadblock. The interruptions in your life just throws your plans just to the other side of the road, you might as well say. But God, he's the God of divine interruptions. Sometimes he'll bring interruptions in your life so he can get direct focus. He wants to focus you on something else. Sometimes he wants you to focus on him, but he causes those divine interruptions in our lives just so we can focus. When my divorce came, I would ask God, why? Why, Father? Why? Why did you bring me this marriage? Why did you bring me this child? Why does it feel like you're just taking it all away from me? You gave them to me, but now you're taking them away. Why? This was a daily thing that I asked God. And I know I'm not the only one that questioned God for different changes that He's brought in our lives. But at the moment, we don't understand. We don't understand why He's doing the things that He does. But on down the line, you can look back and you say, "Oh, okay, He was saving me for that, from that. He was removing me out of that." So it's okay to question Him, but don't begin to turn your back on God. Don't turn your back on God, because He has a reason for everything that He does. There's a story in the Bible about a man named Elijah that actually highlights one of many of the moments when the Lord interrupts your life to redirect someone. In the story, God tells Elijah to go to the brook. Then He tells him that He's going to provide him. He's going to provide for him. He's going to provide his needs while he's there. He clearly tells Elijah that He will send him ravens. Now, I didn't know what ravens was, so I had to look it up. Some type of bird with meat and bread, and that he would drink from the brook. That is the only place he can drink from, is drink from the brook. So Elijah was provided, through the Lord's promise. God had promised these things to him. So how many of you know that God keeps His promises? But wait a minute. Here comes the interruption in Elijah's life. He came to the brook, and the brook had dried up. There was no water in sight, no water nowhere. It dried up. Now, this is one of the moments you was like God, why? You promised me. You told me to go here. You told me to go there. That you will provide for me. Why? Why did you bring me to the promise? Bring me here and promise that you would provide for me. And then you allow me to just suffer in a drought? Come on, God. Did you really bring me this far? You know, this interruption was a blessing. He didn't see it at the moment. He didn't see that it was a blessing at all. And that's some of our interruptions are blessings. Our blessings have a purpose. But again, we don't see it at that moment. All we see is all we feel is like God has just let us down. I'm just gonna say it like He's let us down. Well, in this case, Elijah had to travel 18 miles away to a woman and her son. Now, that's 18 miles of walking on his feet. He didn't have no car back then them days. So he had to walk to meet this woman and her son. So Elijah, he arrives at the place. He asks the woman for a cup of water and something to eat. This woman tells him, I only have enough. I only have enough. I only have like 1 cup of flour and just a small amount of oil. I only have enough for me and my son, and this is going to be our final meal. Can you imagine cooking your final meal? That she knew that there was no, that's all she had. So her and her son wouldn't be able to eat. That was their final meal. She was just gonna die. She was just going to eat that meal, get full, and I'm pretty sure that she would have gave her son more than what she had, and she probably would have gave him all of it because that's some of the sacrifice that a mom does. The sacrifice to child. They let them eat before them sometimes, especially when you don't have anything. So she was about to prepare her last meal for her and her son. I just want you to think about that. Here we are. We take a lot of stuff for granted. We throw a lot of food away. Uh, we buy things that we shouldn't buy, that we don't need. I'm talking to myself. But to only have a cup of flour and a small amount of oil to cook bread only for you and your child, and after that, you're going to perish. But through Elijah, God provided meals for that woman and her son for days and for days to come. And her flour, oh God, it never ran out. Her oil never ran dry. Elijah's perfect blessings was interrupted because the Lord had a purpose behind redirecting him. See, before we go to get mad at God and just give up on things because He's placed interruptions in our lives, just sit, wait, and be patient. Be quiet and be still because He is redirecting your purpose in life. We all have a purpose. We all don't know what our purpose is, but if you want to know, you can seek God and He'll tell you what your purpose is. I mean, I was overgrown. I was in my 40s before I actually knew what my purpose was. I existed, but I wasn't living. And your purpose will have you living. You won't be surviving, you will be living your purpose. Excuse me. Now, how are you interpreting your interruptions in your life? Are you allowing the Lord to use your interruptions in your life to redirect you for your greater purpose? How are you interpreting your interruptions that God has placed in your life? Now that I know better, excuse me, I handle things better, because there was a time in my life as well where I had it all planned out. But here come interruptions in my life. And sometimes my interruptions, it threw me for a loop. But I can sit here and say now, I thank God for my interruptions. His interruptions have made me become the woman that I am today. Strong, fierce, a child of God. I love him. There's no turning back. There's nothing back there for me but pain and darkness and hurt and abuse. And I won't go back. So I thank him for the interruptions that he placed in my life. Because I'm telling you, I'm a better person now. I'm a better person. So that's in the inside, I'm better. I'm healed. I am totally healed on the inside. That's a blessing for God to be fully healed from your past. It's okay to remember your past, but don't go back and dwell in your past. To remember is to say, I'm right here. I'm right here in the presence, and I can look back at my past, and I have grown so much. I have learned so I have more wisdom. I have more knowledge. Don't look back, and don't get mad for the interruptions in your life because you feel that God has just come in and jacked your life up. If he did, it's for a reason and it's for a purpose. He will refresh your strength. He will renew your heart. He will reawaken your soul. And he will remind you that you have worth. You have worth. You have worth in him. So when interruptions come in your life, just know that God has a purpose. And he just redirecting your life. Take your hands off of it and just let him do whatever he wants to do. Not what you want to do, but whatever he wants to do. He wants to make you greater. He wants to make you wiser. He don't want his children to be ignorant to the word. Why would you go back to mess? Why would you go back to something that God has just snatched you out of? I'm talking about he just reached down and pulled you just totally out of it. Why would you go back to that? I want you to remember that question because I am going to have a daily devotion about that as well as something dear to my heart. But just think about it. Your interruptions have a purpose. It's a purpose for you. And when you get healed from whatever, when you come, you know, overcome maybe smoking, drugs, alcohol, sex addiction, when you overcome something, that's not always for you. It's for other people as well because you can identify what that other person is going through. If you see another alcoholic or someone on drugs, you can relate and you can tell them about the goodness of God. You can tell them how God pulled you out. He didn't slowly, he suddenly snatched you up, cleaned you up. You can tell them. You can that's your testimony. We need to stop sitting on our testimonies. Somebody needs to hear your story. There are people out there who needs to hear your story. They need to know that they can make it. If God done it for you, that he can do it for them as well. I pray that I have set somebody free today. I pray that I have touched somebody's heart. I pray that I have inspired someone, encouraged someone. That's what I'm here for. I love people. Now, I may not like the things that they do, but I don't hate anyone. I love people. And I want to do whatever I can to set you free, to release you from bondage, to help you break those chains. Be free on today. Be free on today. Like my page, share the video, send me some comments because I want to know what you need. I want to know what you want to talk about. If you wasn't able to catch it this morning, catch the replay. It doesn't bother me if I don't get a lot of likes and a lot of shares and people don't come on. That don't bother me because I'm doing what God has instructed me to do. But if I could save or set that one person free, that is good enough for me. I give him all the glory and I take none for myself. I take none for myself. Ladies, I want to know how God is moving in your life. What is God doing for you? How is he healing you? I want to know these things because I want to help you get to that point. I want to help you to help your life and your spiritual healing. Let me tell you something. There's nothing like peace. There's nothing like God's peace. I'm not saying that things won't happen in your life, chaos. I'm not saying that, but God will give you that peace. And when those things come into your life, you will know how to handle them in such a better way than what you used to. I thank God. I thank God. Well, my name is Donna Harris. I am your renewed mom's coach in life and spiritual healing. I mentor women who are ready to renew their lives using the 3 R's: reflection, recommitment, and renewal. I know you're saying, what are those? Stay tuned. I'll let you know exactly what they are. Again, you didn't catch the live, catch the replay. I want you to go and have a blessed day, and remember, God uses interruptions in your life to redirect you to a greater purpose that He has for you. Have a blessed day.